Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. This is Guns and Gadgets. If you're new here, you will get up-to-date news every single day on the Second Amendment, oftentimes multiple times a day. That's good and bad news. Oftentimes it's more bad than good, but we don't get the victories unless we're aware of the attacks. And that's what I hope to bring on this channel, and hopefully you'll consider subscribing. Before we jump into the Biden comments yesterday, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is the United States Concealed Carry Association. The USCCA has a lot of education and training meant for all gun owners, new and old alike. And as a member, you will get access to self-defense liability insurance, which will only have you that much more prepared. God forbid you have to make that decision to defend your life or somebody else's. And it's what I use for my family. I strongly suggest you at least check it out. Check out the link down below. It's uscca.com/GNG. If it's not for you, you can cancel at any time and you get your money back. Thank you to USCCA for being a friend and a sponsor. Let's jump into what Joe Biden said yesterday. Now, yesterday was the anniversary of the Parkland shooting, and I've done a video floating above where it's been a while now. The anti-gunners, they put a lot of money in Biden's pocket when he was campaigning to become president. And if you remember, he was like the most anti-gun candidate in history with some of the things he was saying. Most of it was unconstitutional. But fact schmacks, that didn't matter. They still put money in his coffers, and they've been demanding he take action and pay up. And they are starting to turn on him. Watch that video and you'll see some of the groups that are calling him out. There's quite a few of them. But yesterday, this is what came out of the White House. This is Biden's comments on the anniversary of the Parkland shooting. This is right from the White House briefing room, and this is the statement by President Biden 4 years after the Parkland shooting. On February 14, 2018, a gunman stole the lives of 14 students and 3 educators at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. It was the deadliest high school shooting in a nation with far too many of them, and it left another community in our country shattered by grief. On this difficult day, we mourn with the Parkland families whose lives were upended in an instant, who had to bury a piece of their soul deep in the earth. We pray, too, for those still grappling with the wounds, both visible and invisible. And as we remember those lost in Parkland, we also stand with Americans in every corner of our country who have lost loved ones to gun violence or had their lives forever altered by a shooting, in tragedies that made headlines and in ones that did not. Out of the heartbreak of Parkland, a new generation of Americans all across the country marched for our lives and towards a better, safer America for us all. Together, this extraordinary movement is making sure that the voices of victims and survivors and responsible gun owners are louder than the voices of gun manufacturers and the National Rifle Association. My administration stands with those working to end this epidemic of gun violence. I have put forward a comprehensive plan to reduce gun crime that includes curbing the proliferation of ghost guns, cracking down on gun dealers who willfully violate the law, issuing model extreme risk protection order legislation for states, and promoting safe firearm storage, among other efforts. The Department of Justice is also helping more cities adopt smart law enforcement models like the ones I recently saw in New York City, in which federal, state, and local law enforcement work together to share intelligence and remove shooters from our streets. I've asked Congress to pass a budget that provides an additional $500 million for proven strategies we know reduce violent crime, accountable community policing, and community violence interventions. I have also requested increased funds for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and the U.S. Marshals. And Congress must do more, beginning with requiring background checks on all gun sales, banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, and eliminating immunity for gun manufacturers. We can never bring back those we've lost, but we can come together to fulfill the first responsibility of our government and our democracy, to keep each other safe. For Parkland, for all those we've lost, and for those left behind, it is time to uphold that solemn obligation. Well, the first responsibility of our government is actually not to keep us safe. It is to safeguard our individual liberties and our rights. That is the reason the federal government was there, and to handle, foreign affairs. Like I said, they're all coming out of the woodwork. They're putting pressure on Joe Biden. We'll probably hear some more of his, mumbles and jumbles about, gun control. And to commemorate all of this, a Parkland parent climbed a crane in Washington, D.C., I guess, I don't know. Don't know what that was supposed to be. But Joe Biden has doubled down, or tripled down, quadrupled down on the gun control we're already aware of, because he said this all year long so far. And we've seen things trickle down. If you want to stay in the know, I ask you humbly to subscribe to the channel. That is where you'll stay up to date with everything going on, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. And for those who have asked about this shirt, I wore it for you to tell you that they are restocked. Link is down below, and I thank you for your support. If you want to help support the channel, there's ways in the description of every single video. Thank you for your time. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. And remember that a gun on your hip is more effective than a cop on the phone. And we are the new Sons of Liberty. Take care, y'all.